chama chao nchini Mexico. Bamule poti wa samanga wambo fyalile finishi bakukalola suka mafauzi balambo kutalo.
So when you open your Excel document, by default you have this part here, this green top part, which is called the title bar. So the title bar, just like everybody else, has a name. All your documents needs to be named, but this file has not yet been saved. By default it's called book 1. So this Excel sheet is called book 1. Okay, so this is the title bar where you're going to create a name for this Excel. So if this document you want to name it your name, or it's a budget document, so you can say budget document. If it's a sales record, you can call it a sales record. So the name will appear on this tab here. So that's what we call the title bar. And then if you go to the far left corner, we have what we call the quick access bar. Now the quick access bar is located at the far left corner on the tab. It contains frequently used commands. So you always find the quick access bar, always it's on the left by default, unless things change, but it's always on the left. It contains commands that are frequently used and can be customized using the drop down menu. So the first two boxes that we have there, it has the save option. So if you notice, if I hover around, it brings the name down there. It has the undo option and it has the redo option. Then we also have a customize option. So what this customize option is you could increase the number of quick access tools that you need. So if I click on this arrow, you'll notice that there are a number of tools. There's new, open, save, email, quick print, print preview, spelling, undo, redo. So all these that have been ticked are what's showing. So if I want to add any other element, for instance, I want the new option. So when I click on it, you'll notice that the quick access bar will have a create new document option that has come up. So this is what we call the quick access bar. From the quick access bar, we have what we call the ribbon. Now, the ribbon contains all the tools that you use to interact with your Microsoft Excel. This part here, this whole part here that has been highlighted is what we call the ribbon. Okay, it's always located on the top of the window. All programs, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Excel, Publisher, PowerPoint will always have what we call the ribbon. And remember, it contains all tools that are going to help you interact with the document. Okay, now every ribbon has what we call tabs. The file, the home, the insert, the page layout, the formula, the data, the review view. These are what we call tabs. Now if you notice, if I highlight there, it has some color code inside. Okay, so these are the tabs. You'll find these, like I've mentioned, in Microsoft Excel 2013 all the way up. All these are what we call tabs. Okay, so by default you'll find Excel opens with the home tab active. So if you want to see an active tab, you'll see this green light. Okay, so notice that there's this green line highlighted on the home tab. If I go to insert, it's highlighted, which means it's an active tab. Okay, so these tabs are found on the ribbon and they all contain different tools that will help us interact on the document. Okay, then inside each tab we have what we call groups and buttons. Now the groups are these elements that we are seeing here, called the clipboard, the font, the alignment, the number, the styles, the cells, the editing. Those are groups that you find on the home tab. If you click on the insert tab, you'll find it has different groups. It has the tables, illustrations, add-ins, charts, tools, sparklines, filters, links, and symbols. So each tab that we have is divided into groups, and those groups have different buttons that we're going to use in the interaction. So for instance, this paste is a button, this cut is a button, this copy is a button. All these symbols or colors you're seeing, they are called buttons. So different tabs have different buttons for different users. And then we have tabs that have, we have buttons that have arrows. So if you notice, below here there's an arrow. Okay, so we have two types of buttons with arrows. We have a one-part arrow button. The arrow is called the menu button. So when you go here, say for example on the conditional formatting, when I click on conditional formatting, it only brings these options because it has an arrow. So this is a one-part arrow button. It has no any other option, but you have to click the button to get the options. So that's what we call the one-part arrowed button. Then we have other buttons, what we call two-part arrowed button. Okay, why do you call it two-part? Because for instance, this is the fill color. On its own, it's a button and it has an arrow. Okay, so you can have this as a button, you can click on it as a button. So fill color is a button and it has an arrow that has other options. So this one is called a two-part button. Then if you notice, in each group we have what we call a dialog box launcher. So this here on the corner of every group is called the dialog box launcher. Okay, this is a launcher which will open a dialog box or a side panel related but less commands. So if I click on this dialog launch box, you'll notice that it will expand and give me more options. Okay, it gives me more options. So these options cannot be filled on the ribbon, cannot be filled within the group. So it gives you more options and you have more functionalities and more interaction with what you want to do with the document. Okay, then the next part that we have is the ribbon display options. So we've moved from the quick access toolbars to the ribbon, and then on the top right side we have options that will hide. Okay, so we moved from this side and now we're on the top right corner. We have the ribbon display options. Now these display options, you can customize them. If I click on the ribbon display options, I can auto hide the ribbon. So if I click there, the ribbon is hidden. Okay, if I want, I'll say show tabs, and the other options that it has is show tabs and commands. All right, so you can have different interactions. You can click on it and interact with it. So those are the different types of ribbons that we have, or options under the ribbon. Okay, then so I'll just leave it on show tabs so that I'm able to, if you have show tabs, can you notice the first option is it hides, so you don't even see the title bar there. But then when I get the second option, it only shows the tabs. So these are the home tab, the insert, the page layout, the formulas. It also shows the title. Okay, then we also now have the last option, which I enjoy, show tabs with commands, or it's show tabs and commands. So what this has is these now here, the commands, all the buttons that we discussed that in the ribbon. So it's showing both of them. All right. Then of course we have these three buttons that I'm sure you must be familiar with. We have the minimize button. When you click the minimize button, it minimizes the document. It doesn't close the document, it just puts you away. Okay. And then we have the resize or the restore down. So this is a style that will resize the size of the Excel sheet. So if you want to have a smaller Excel sheet, you can open it small, okay, and then if you want, you can extend it. So this resize option helps you enlarge. I like to keep it full unless you are having more than one Excel document, and you could have multiple of them. Okay, and then the last option we have is the close. So if you want, you can close the Excel sheet or the book. Then there's one tab that is very interesting. We call it the File tab. Okay, now what the File tab has is a backstage view of the document. It gives you various options for saving, opening, printing, sharing a document. It's more like an extended menu. It has a good outlook there. So if I click on the File option, remember it's different from these other tabs. These other tabs will interact with the ribbon, but once you click on the File tab or button, what happens is it gives you an extended backstage of the document. Alright, so you have all these options. You have account, publish, export, share, print, and you can do anything you want with the document.
Bamule poti wa samanga wambo fyalile finishi bakukalola suka mafauzi balambo